1626, there was an English composer called John Dowland who died. He was a mid-16th century lute composer of songs, and he was a particularly sad, kind of miserable chap, right? He gave himself a motto which was Semper Dowland, Semper Dolens, right? So always Dowland, always sad. Like, great. Not quite the same as copes well with stressful situations on a CV. Anyway, the reason I mentioned 1626, it's a long time ago. So imagine if you could trace back your family tree to that. You'd be pretty, I'd be happy, huh? Imagine if your family tree, and you still have the same surname, and you were still in the same house. Not only that, imagine you were still in the same business that your family was doing when John Dowland died. This is before Bach was born. It's 120 years before, 130 years exactly before Mozart was born. Like, this is a long time ago. And not many people, I would wager, can say, my family is doing this business in this house, and so am I, since 1626. But that is what you get with these guys. Jean Trimbach is the 12th generation, and his niece Anne is the 13th generation of the Trimbach family to be making wines in Alsace. They're in the town of Ribeauvillé, and they've now over the years engaged in enough contracts to have vineyards based in all sorts of different villages up and down Alsace. But they're widely respected as probably the best of the historic houses of Alsace. There are others. Ugel would be one of the very popular, similarly coloured ones. It's got a slightly darker yellow label. But because of their vineyard management, and especially their attitude towards single plots, Trimbach are really one of the first families of wine in Europe, the world, and really important. Not just the history that's there, the quality that has come about through constant vineyard management and research means that they really are, really are great. If you want to know what a wine tastes like from Alsace, find a Trimbach wine, and you won't be steered wrong. This is Riesling. In this guise, it is never sweet. It's fruity, but it's as dry as a bone. And because it's Alsace, which is, again, sorry to throw the book at you, it's the second driest region in France, even though it's really far north. And the reason it's the second driest is because there's a range of mountains to the west called the Vosges Mountains, and as the weather moves across the north of France, weather systems move across from the Atlantic, from the English Channel, across the north of France, they break over the Vosges Mountains, leaving the easterly side of the hills slopes dry and irrigated but dry, and that makes absolutely perfect conditions for growing grapes. And even though it's very close by to Germany, the German wines that are a similar line of latitude are much more delicate, crystalline and fresh, whereas these things are really quite firm and dry and full. And that's why the Alsatian district has got huge amounts of food with it as well. Per capita, it has the highest number of Michelin star restaurants anywhere in France, which is wonderful and quite exciting. I've only been once and didn't get to any wineries, so I must go back again. But it's exceptionally beautiful. It's much more quiet than you'd expect, and it's a special place, full of history, obviously. But the vineyards, and Trimbachs especially, I think are really lovely and well worth seeking out. This is Riesling. Have it with any food, probably better than just on its own. But really, throw the kitchen at it. Chicken, curries, Asian food, pork, sausages. That's a lot of what they cook in that region anyway. But that's not to denigrate it at all. It's a really delicious wine, and I really hope that you like it.